Welcome back to Scotties Hobbies. In this weekly emissions deregulations update, we're going to be covering the Clean Trucks program and what's going on with that lawsuit that is potentially ending this partnership that CARB has with major manufacturers of diesels or big rigs here in California. Actually, a lot has happened in the last week, going back and forth with CARB and major manufacturers of diesels, and I'm going to cover everything in this video. One question I get a lot is, will this have any effect on the Clean Trucks checks here in California? The Clean Truck checks is the big rig biannual, or what is it, twice annual emissions inspections for big rigs that becomes a 4 times per year inspection in 2027. I'm going to cover a lot in this video, so make sure to stay tuned. Before we go too far into this video, please hit that like button, subscribe. After you're done, check out the video library for a ton of automotive helpful DIY videos, and do not forget, in 2 days, November 6th, I'm going to be giving away a Gulu A3 jump box compressor combo. This gizmo is pretty cool. You could use this to jump your vehicle if it's dead, and you could use it to inflate your tires or balls or inflatables when you're at the pool or something like that, or the lake. This does a lot of stuff. And there's a light on top. This thing's pretty cool. I'm gonna be giving away one of these for absolutely free. All you gotta do is comment on the video that I'm giving this away in, and you're entered. No purchase necessary, just comment on the video. So look for a link in the first comment and in the description to get to the video to get entered to this. All it takes is a comment. That's it. You'll be entered to win this. I will choose a winner on November 6th. All right, the Clean Trucks program contract. What is that? That is a contract that the California Air Resources Board entered into with major manufacturers of diesels in California. What manufacturers, you might ask? Well, that's Daimler North America, Volvo Group of North America, Packer, and Navistar. So what did they do? CARB went to these manufacturers in 2023, and said, hey, we need you guys to enter into this contract with us. This contract is going to say that you guys are going to stick to the omnibus low NOx rule that we have and the continued phase out of ICE vehicles in California, so ICE big rigs. And of course, the manufacturers, they went ahead and signed it. I was thinking a lot of manufacturers signed on to this because they had the belief that the future of big rigs was EVs. That's not my particular belief, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, do they know something that I don't? Is the future really EV big rigs? And the more we get into it, of course it's not. And what a lot of viewers pointed out to me was that more than likely, the manufacturers were probably strong-armed into entering into this contract so they could actually sell their vehicles in the state of California and operate them in the state of California. Now, what has happened as of late? Last week, I believe it was October 29th or 30th, CARB came out with a lawsuit. They're suing these truck manufacturers in Alameda County in California, saying that they are in violation of breach of contract, or that this is a breach of contract, with the manufacturers filing in federal court that they want out of this partnership. And the crazy thing is, before we get too far, everything I talk about, there's links in the description below. I'm going to put a link to the lawsuit that CARB filed in Alameda County, link in the description below for that, and a link to the federal court case that's going on. So CARB sued the big rig companies, CARB sued the big rig companies in California in county court, and also the big rig companies sued California in federal court, the district court in San Francisco. So everything will be in the description below. Now the crazy thing is, 2 days after, so what was it, on Halloween, October 31st, the federal court case got an injunction placed on that court case. A temporary injunction, that is. Now, what is that temporary injunction? The judge said, as it is right now, while this court case is going on, these manufacturers do not need to abide by the Clean Trucks program that they signed on to. So what's going to happen in all this? It's kind of crazy because, you know, federal is supposed to override state, but this is a contract. What happens with an illegal contract? It's something that stay tuned. We're going to really see what's going on. And the next step in the federal court case is, I believe it was November 21st, I believe it is. It might be a day off or two. There is another hearing for that date, or on that date, for CARB petitioning to get the federal case thrown out. So That will be the next big step on the federal court case. We'll see what's going to happen. And now, what does this mean when it comes to the everyday big rig driver out there right now? Will this affect current emissions rules if this partnership gets thrown out? And the answer is no, because this contract was for the big rig manufacturers to comply with future standards, the standards that are starting in 2026, 2027, to phase out ICE big rigs and convert or move over to expanding, selling the EV big rigs, and also sticking to the omnibus low NOx rule. So your current big rig, nothing is going to be affected by this rule being potentially thrown out. The Clean Truck Check program isn't going anywhere either. So as it is right now, you still have to do your twice a year emissions inspection on your big rig. And in 2027, it is going to get a little bit worse, and you're going to have to do a 4 times per year emissions inspection on your big rig. And really what the state of California is doing is just making it harder and harder for big rigs to operate in California, trying to get, or operate ICE vehicles in California, trying to get them or strong arm them into getting into EVs when it comes to big rigs as well. So if they can't come up with the rules that the CRAs tossed out, which is the EV mandate of 2035, and I believe for big rigs it was up to 2045. So if they can't enforce that rule, they're going to strong arm these companies into getting what they want one way or another. There's a lot that could be happening with this. I really think, and what I really hope is that the Clean Truck Partnership gets completely tossed out, because personally, EV trucks, big rigs, are just not the way to go, in my opinion. Maybe later on down the road, 10 years, 20 years, when our infrastructure is built more for charging these big rigs and the batteries get you further distance, there might be a more feasible time to bring out EV big rigs. But as it is right now, I just don't think this is the time to start worrying about that. Yeah, if a manufacturer or if a consumer wants to buy an EV big rig, more power to you, do it. They are pretty cool. From what I understand, they are really nice to drive, but for a long hauler, they just do not make sense at all at this point in time. So why force big rig drivers into EVs? It just doesn't make any sense. So what do you think is going to happen? Comment below and let me know. And one more thing. Have you guys ever heard of ExpressVPN? I've been using ExpressVPN on my phone for years. Just for my safety when I'm browsing the internet, just make sure nobody gets into my phone, nobody can see what I'm doing on the internet. And my daughter, a few months ago, came up to me and she was like, "Dad, I want your ExpressVPN on my tablet so I could watch Netflix in, like, I don't know, Europe or something, because I guess there's more shows and movies that are available in other countries. If you could hop on a VPN and change it to a different country so Netflix thinks you're somewhere else, and it just widens the horizon on what you can watch on Netflix or streaming services." So I let her do it. She's been loving it. So I hit up ExpressVPN and I said, "Hey, you guys, can we work out a deal?" And guess what? I did. So if you guys need a VPN, if you guys want to be safe browsing the internet, if you guys want to expand your horizon on what shows you could watch on streaming services by changing the region that you're watching from, well, you'll be changing it, but you won't be going there, right? Makes it so you have a lot more stuff to watch. Check out ExpressVPN. Look for a link in the description and maybe the second comment, but ExpressVPN/Scotties Hobbies. I worked out a deal for you guys to get you a little bit better deal than what is the normal price on ExpressVPN. And again, I've been using it for a really long time. I really like it. So I really think you guys should check it out too if you're worried about your internet browsing safety and privacy as well. The Gulu A3 jump box, I will be giving one of these away, picking a winner on November 6th. So stay tuned for this giveaway. Look for helpful links in the description. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys watching. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys on the next hopefully helpful video. Thanks for checking out Scotties Hobbies.